Next question is, a company with global offices has a single 1 Gbps AWS Direct Connect connection to a single AWS region. The company's on-premises network uses the connection to communicate with the company's resource in the AWS cloud. The connection has a single private virtual interface that connects to a single VPC. A solution architect must implement a solution that adds a redundant connection in the same region. The solution also must provide connectivity to other regions through the same pair of direct connections as the company expands into other regions. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A. Provision a direct connect gateway. Delete the existing private virtual interface from the existing connection. Create the second direct connect connection. Create a new private virtual interface on each connection and connect both private virtual interfaces to the Direct Connect gateway. Connect the Direct Connect gateway to the single VPC. Option B. Keep the existing private virtual interface. Create the second Direct Connect connection. Create a new private virtual interface on the new connection and connect the new private virtual interface to the single VPC. Option C. Keep the existing private virtual interface. Create the second Direct Connect connection. Create a new public virtual interface on the new connection and connect the new public virtual interface to the new VPC, new single VPC. Option D. Provision transit gateway. Delete the existing private virtual interface from the existing connection. Create the second Direct Connect connection. Create a new private virtual interface on each connection and connect both private virtual interfaces to the transit gateway. Associate the transit gateway with the single VPC. Correct answer is option A. Provision a direct connect gateway. Delete the existing private virtual interface from the existing connection. Create the second direct connect connection. Create a new private virtual interface on each connection and connect both private virtual interfaces to the Direct Connect gateway. Connect the Direct Connect gateway to the single VPC. Next question is, a company is using AWS organizations to manage multiple accounts. Due to regulatory requirements, the company wants to restrict specific member accounts to certain AWS regions where they are permitted to deploy resources. The resources in the accounts must be tagged enforced based on a group standard and centrally managed with minimal configuration. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Create an AWS configuration rule in the specific member accounts to limit regions and apply a tag policy. Option B. From the AWS billing and cost management console, in the master account, disable regions for the specific member accounts and apply a tag policy on the root. Option C. Associate the specific member accounts with the root. Apply a tag policy and an SCP using conditions to limit regions. Option D. Associate the specific member accounts with a new OU. Apply a tag policy and an SCP using conditions to limit regions. Correct answer is option D. Associate the specific member accounts with a new OU. Apply a tag policy and an SCP using conditions to limit regions. Next question is, a company's AWS architecture currently uses access keys and secret access keys stored on each instance to access AWS services. Database credentials are hard-coded on each instance. SSH keys for command time remote access are stored in a secured Amazon S3 bucket. The company has asked its solutions architect to improve the security posture of the architecture without adding operational complexity. Which combination of steps should the solution architect take to accomplish this? Select three options. Option A. Use Amazon EC2 instance profiles with an IAM role. Option B. Use AWS Secrets Manager to store access key and secret access keys. Option C. Use AWS System Manager's parameter store to store database credentials. Option D. Use a secure fleet of Amazon EC2 Bastion hosts or remote access. Option E. Use AWS KMS to store database credentials. Option F. Use AWS Systems Manager Session Manager for remote access. Correct answer is option A, option C, and option F. Use AWS Systems Manager parameter store to store database credentials. Use Amazon EC2 instance profiles with an IAM role. And use AWS System Manager Session Manager for remote access.